Alright everybody, what's up? Daddy14 2014 PG, and today back with the Truth Hurts. We have another episode, and of course we are looking at the LG V30 versus the Pixel 2 and trying to find out which device is the right one for you, the consumer. Daddy14 24, let's get to it. So one of the first things you're going to notice about the LG V30, my apologies, is obviously the design. Very sleek, the screen curves over. You'll see that there's realistically, even though there's an edge, it really kind of bleeds over the corners, allowing it to have that really full screen to body ratio that LG is well known for, but even extending upon that from the V30. And then of course there's the action bar, which they've eliminated the second screen from, but put some customizable actions such as, obviously controlling your media, your contacts, and of course things like a GIF creator, which allows you to essentially do what Samsung does and create a GIF anywhere pretty much on the screen. So looking at the phone itself and the body, the glass chassis or the aluminum chassis along with glass coating, obviously Gorilla Glass, I believe it is 4 on the front. It does have the IP68 certification, and then of course the main focus here with the LG V30 is of course the camera, bringing you that cinematography, and in this case what they call Cinevid. Now Cinevid allows you to essentially pick a subject in your photo and zoom over to them, and you'll see it here as we pick the charger, and as we zoom in you'll see it kind of focuses on that particular item and then focuses back out. So it gives you that steady ability to be able to focus on a subject, to zoom into them even if they're off to the left or right side of the frame. And then of course there's the front-facing camera, which is a pretty solid quality. The V30 is a camera or a photographer's dream. You'll notice that the flash has been moved, where the LG V30 it was center in between the two cameras. And of course you have the 3.5mm headphone jack.
Okay, so the truth is the LG V30 is a great phone. It offers a slew of features and it has a very nice build. In fact, they managed to somehow get it thinner than the LG G6, and that's quite a feat in itself. But it doesn't feel as premium. It's got more of an, I guess, a plastic kind of feel than the aluminum build that you see on the LG V30, especially near the edges. So while the LG V30 is a great phone, especially for the cinematographers, we still got to look at the Pixel. So what about the Pixel?
And now we have the Pixel lineup of phones. So again, this is a versus. So we're looking at phones like, for example, the Pixel 2 and then the Pixel 2 XL. Now, what surprised me most is that the Pixel 2, even though I was very much, not expecting to be sold by it, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Now you'll see with the, and we'll talk about that in a second, you'll see with the Pixel 2 XL how the screen really goes right to the edges. Now it doesn't quite wrap around, you still do have a bezel at the top and bottom, but it does give you closer to what we see nowadays with the standard between Samsung and LG. You'll notice that the Pixel 2 fits pretty much within the Pixel XL. So the Pixel XL is actually relatively closer size to the V30, and you'll actually see that in a moment. Now, so one quick thing I did want to mention is that you'll see that the LG V30 kind of expanded upon like the 3D touch actions, giving it more functionality than what we see in the Pixel. But at the end of the day, these phones are completely different. The Pixel is going to give you that software experience that's native. You'll see that the LG V30 is a little bit bigger in terms of sizing, but you're going to get that 3 years guaranteed updates with the Pixel 2 or the Pixel 2 XL. Alright, so let's get to the conclusion here. Which phone is actually better?
So the LG V30 versus the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL. Which one is ultimately better? Each offers and caters to a different type of consumer. The LG V30 has a great camera with this CineView mode that's going to allow that camera enthusiast to tackle every type of photography and videography that they want to capture within their device. It also offers you a premium build, some extra features that you kind of see in phones like Samsung, but not maybe to that level. In addition to those things, you also have a cheaper build, and that's what you're sacrificing. You're not getting that as premium build as say the LG G6, which has an all metal frame. This one has a kind of plasticky type metal, and yes, well, the bezels are stretched wider and you do get that second screen functionality. These are things that you can all get downloaded via apps, etc., like the Floating Bar app, and I'll leave that description, or I'll leave that in the description down below. Then it brings us over to the Pixel, and the Pixel has a lot to offer too. The Pixel 2 is actually the one that surprised me the most. Even though it has the bezels, it still manages to cater a premium build. And of course, you get those Android features, stock Android, and 3 years of guaranteed update, all at a cheaper consumer price point. And I think that's going to speak volumes, even though it doesn't have those bezel-less screen technology. But then you take over to the Pixel 2 XL, which does offer you those bezel-less. The camera on both of them are fantastic. You're going to get an amazing portrait mode if you're looking for that. And of course, you're going to get 3 years of stability and upgrades. And for me, as my perspective, I think that speaks more volumes to consumers, because you know your phone's going to last longer. The reality is, sure, phones are not going to last as long. They maybe last you a year nowadays, to, if you're lucky, a year and a half, because something new and better comes along. But technology and the implementation of how technology is furthering is becoming less and less noticeable. We have these 6 gigs and 8 gigs and 4 gig phones, and the performance is not really too much of an issue. But the features that each new edition of Android brings can be critical for some consumers. And if that's important to you, you're going to want to pick up the Pixel 2 or the Pixel 2 XL. And believe it or not, I'm going to recommend the winner as the Pixel 2. The Pixel XL and both the LG V30 are fantastic phones that by no means should be outpassed. And I know some of you might think I'm crazy, but I think that lower price point, along with everything that you get in the Pixel 2 XL, you are going to get the best value or bang for your buck. That's just it. Daddy1424 here at The Truth Hurts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, 2 thumbs up, subscribe, and of course leave some comments down below if you haven't already done so. Letting me do those things and know these things shows me how I can grow and what videos I can bring to you next. Daddy1424, take it easy.